In a rapidly shifting financial landscape, a major development has just surfaced that could mark a turning point for currency holders. According to multiple credible confirmations, Chase Bank has officially initiated private Iraqi dinar exchange operations in select locations across the United States. This is no longer speculation or internet rumor, it's happening now. Secure VIP exchange rooms have been activated and are currently receiving pre-selected clients. If you're holding Iraqi dinar or Vietnamese dong, what's unfolding may be the most pivotal update you've encountered. The real question is no longer if this revaluation is real, but rather, are you on the list? For years, the currency community has been filled with talk of hidden exchange tiers, private appointments, and privileged contract rates offered behind closed doors. Many dismissed these as wishful theories or online chatter, but today, those long-whispered stories are coming to life inside Chase Bank branches in major cities. The rooms' discreet, high-security exchange suites have been implemented. Not standard bank counters, but private client rooms with heavily restricted access, designed specifically for high-net-worth individuals. These rooms are operated under tight oversight, reportedly with Treasury-level compliance measures. We're talking about bulletproof glass, biometric access, encrypted systems, and dedicated teams of private bankers and currency specialists. Only vetted individuals, already on Chase's radar, are being invited in. This isn't for walk-ins hoping to exchange a few notes. You must be known, pre-approved, and have a transactional history tied to the bank. What's taking place appears to be part of a broader, carefully timed strategy coordinated with federal regulators, possibly anticipating a significant shift in global currency valuation. Inside these rooms, the process is tightly structured. Once invited, clients meet with the senior banker who verifies identity and confirms the authenticity of the currency holdings. Before anything else, participants must sign a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA, that legally prohibits them from discussing what happens beyond that point. From there, the client is briefed on their available exchange pathways, including standard rates, exclusive contract rates, or long-term structured payout options tailored to their profile and currency volume. Every step is handled discreetly and legally. This isn't speculation, it's already in progress. But how do you qualify? First, you must hold an active Chase account. Having a basic checking account helps, but the priority is going to Chase Sapphire, Private Client, and JP Morgan customers. These individuals are already connected to Chase's wealth management system and receive first call access. Second, your dinar or dong must be verified. That means retaining receipts, certificates, and proof of purchase from licensed dealers. Holding proper documentation elevates your standing. Third, you need a working relationship with a private banker or financial advisor inside Chase. If you've been actively communicating with your branch, participating in discussions around global banking or foreign currency holdings, this could be what sets you apart. There are already subtle signals emerging. Some clients have been contacted by bankers under pretexts like portfolio reviews or liquidity event planning. Others have received emails asking to confirm contact info or disclose foreign currency amounts. A few have even been asked to bring in their dinar, not for immediate exchange, but for what's being termed a pre-redemption review. These aren't isolated incidents. They point to a phased rollout, focused first on those most prepared and most compliant with bank protocols. Perhaps the most remarkable detail being reported is the direct linkage between these Chase VIP rooms and the U.S. Treasury's systems. If accurate, this would mean that once the formal green light is issued, whether by the Central Bank of Iraq, the IMF, or the U.S. Treasury, these rooms are already embedded in the infrastructure. Their rate feeds, digital verifications, and compliance frameworks are ready to go, putting Chase in the ideal position to move first and fast. Clients who are already in the system could be processed immediately, avoiding the long delays expected in public channels once the revaluation is live. Now, here's what every holder should consider doing immediately. Begin by organizing all documentation related to your currency purchase, dealer receipts, authentication papers, and records of origin. Make digital and physical copies and store them securely. Then schedule a consultation at your Chase branch. Don't ask about revaluation directly. Frame your conversation around global diversification or foreign banking strategy. This positions you as an informed client and flags your file for internal attention. Finally, make sure your contact details are fully current, both email and phone. If Chase attempts to reach you and can't, you may miss your window entirely. Understanding the rate options is just as vital. These VIP rooms are not restricted to public figures. Some clients are being offered confidential contract rates reported between $1.80 and as high as $6.80 per dinar, depending on transaction size, timing, and whether a structured payout is selected. These rates come with strict NDAs. You will not be permitted to discuss the details publicly, online, or even with fellow investors. No social media posts, no screenshots, no public confirmations. This process is highly controlled, and agreements are legally enforced. Skeptics still question whether any of this is real, but major financial institutions don't invest millions building secured exchange rooms, hiring elite staff, and training compliance teams for a hoax. The investment alone confirms that something major is underway. The only real question left is, will you be ready when the call comes in? For those serious about positioning themselves ahead of the revaluation, preparation goes beyond simply holding currency. Having a clear strategy and establishing strong banking relationships is what separates passive holders from those being fast-tracked into private appointments. The Chase program, while not the only path, is undoubtedly one of the most advanced and perhaps most aligned with a coordinated, high-level rollout. Think of it this way. Chase's VIP process is the equivalent of flying private during a global financial shift, while the majority wait in long lines for commercial boarding. Private clients not only receive expedited processing and premium rates, but also gain access to customized wealth management services once their exchange is complete. That post-exchange planning is critical. Whether you're dealing with six-figure holdings or beyond, having expert guidance on tax strategy, trust creation, investment allocation, and asset protection is essential. But the benefits don't end with the exchange itself. Early reports suggest that Chase is offering structured payout options for larger exchanges. These allow clients to receive staggered distributions over time, often tied to interest-bearing accounts, investment portfolios, or treasury-backed vehicles. Not only can this provide financial stability and long-term growth, but it may also offer favorable tax treatment depending on your individual situation. Of course, these options are only available to those invited into the program, and participation hinges on full compliance with the NDA and security protocols. So, what's the best move now if you haven't been contacted yet? Start with a self-assessment. Is your Chase account active and are you regularly engaged with a banker? Have you consolidated and digitized your purchase records? Are your personal contact details fully updated? If the answer to any of these is no, now is the time to act. Consider reaching out for a consultation, not about RV or revaluation, but about broader currency and international diversification questions. That kind of inquiry shows you're educated, strategic, and aware of global finance trends. Another overlooked factor is the tone and manner of communication. Some investors make the mistake of coming across as overly speculative or confrontational. Chase, like any major institution, prefers clients who are composed, professional, and speak the language of high net worth planning. You don't need to pretend to be a financial expert, but demonstrating maturity, discretion, and preparedness will increase the chances of being flagged for early access. As for those who've already received calls, emails, or subtle messages like portfolio updates or liquidity preparation, treat those touchpoints as high priority. These may be indicators that your name has been shortlisted. Respond promptly, remain respectful, and be ready to validate your holdings upon request. While some banks are still reviewing policies, Chase appears to be leading the charge. With infrastructure already operational and client invitations quietly rolling out, another crucial piece of information coming from insider reports is that these Chase rooms are synchronized with Treasury-length digital rate systems. What this means is that once the official rate change is announced, whether from the Central Bank of Iraq, the U.S. Treasury, or the IMF, these rooms can execute transactions immediately. The benefit? Clients in this program won't need to wait in queues or wonder if a public platform is overloaded. They'll already be inside the system, already verified, and already cleared for redemption. There's also growing speculation that the early phases of this rollout may be used to test systems before a full-scale public reevaluation. In other words, the individuals participating now may not only receive preferred rates, but could serve as the first case studies of how this revaluation will be handled on a national scale. That's why confidentiality is strictly enforced. These early exchanges could shape policy, compliance, and public rollout procedures down the line. If you're watching this and wondering whether you've missed your chance, the answer is no. The process is still underway. Many stages are likely yet to be activated, and additional clients will continue to be reviewed and onboarded as things progress. But the gap between being ready and being reactive is narrowing. Being proactive now could determine whether you're positioned in the first wave or left waiting. Here's a brief checklist to close out this update. First, confirm your Chase account is in good standing. Second, ensure your dinar and dong purchase records are legitimate, organized, and accessible. Third, establish direct communication with a Chase banker, ideally one connected to private client or wealth management. Fourth, check and update your contact information across all bank platforms. And fifth, prepare mentally and logistically to enter a non-disclosure environment. That means knowing how to handle high-level financial negotiations quietly, without social media chatter or unintentional disclosures. And finally, stay calm, clear-headed, and alert. The revaluation isn't just an internet rumor anymore. It's happening in real time for those ready to participate. The infrastructure is built, the bankers are trained, the invitations are being sent, and the opportunities are being given to those who prepared, connected, and stayed informed. Thank you for tuning in to Iraqi Dinar News. What we're seeing unfold across Chase Bank is potentially historic. If you're holding currency, the time for passive hope is over. The time for informed action is now. Be ready, stay updated, and we'll continue bringing you the latest intelligence as this process accelerates. The door to something extraordinary has cracked open, and those who are prepared will be the first to walk through.